All right, let me walk you through this page and how to utilize these scripts to strategically reach out to folks in your contacts as previously stated. And the whole intention of this is to get conversations open, to get information in front of these folks about Vital Health, about the products, the services, and of course, if they want info on the products, get on the phone with them. You know, it's always good to go from a text message to getting on the phone with someone, even if it's about the opportunity, set up a three-way call. But the idea here, guys, is get these conversations open and going. And if you do this between 2 to 5 times a day, in other words, reach out to 2 to 5 people a day, think about that over the span of 5 days, 7 days, a month. The more conversations you have, the bigger your business is going to be, right? That's the honest reality. We know this. And I think most of you on this call or on this training say, dude, I'm down to do the work. I just need to know what to do. So if that's you, you're in luck. I'm going to walk you through that over the next few minutes on this training. So here's the deal. First thing we've got to do is realize that you have a lot of contacts in your phone, right? Probably hundreds, if not thousands of folks, right? Do we all agree with that? Okay, cool. So we need to now reach out to them. Well, how are we going to do that? Simple. We're going to send them a text message. So before we get started on the actual script, here's the reality. You probably only have about a handful of good friends, we'd call it, that you text on a semi-regular basis, right? So like friends, family members, people that you're comfortable with. You've probably got hundreds, if not thousands of acquaintances though, right? People you've just got phone numbers from over the years. You want to reach out to them. Amazing. So this script is definitely more utilized than the good friend script only because you probably have a lot more acquaintances in your phone contacts versus your good friends. So I'm going to, for the sake of this video and not being, eons long, I'm going to go into the script for acquaintances. So here's the deal. Let's just say that you're talking to this guy, John. You met this guy, John, at a business conference a year ago, or you met him at a bar, or you're at a restaurant, or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. This guy, John, you want to reach out to, you're interested in talking to him about the opportunity, you feel like he's a business-minded guy, or he's a business-minded guy, or whatever, but you want to get the conversation open about Vital, right? So here's what you could say. Hey, John, I know we haven't talked in a while, but I wanted to get your opinion on something real quick. The image right here would be like if John was a good friend, right? Like you could probably get away with saying this to a good friend or a family member versus this might be a little weird if you text someone you haven't talked to in like a year. This text would make more sense for someone like that, right? So I know we haven't talked in a while, but I wanted to get your opinion on something real quick. So I'm going to scroll down to the or the acquaintances second text. So let's say I sent this over to John and he said, yeah, what's up? At this point, I can ask him if I want to prospect him to get him interested in the product, I can lead with this script. If I want to talk more about the opportunity, I can lead with this script. So you could say something like, I just partnered with a company that pays people to expand their product, post on social media, etc. Do you have any interest in a side income opportunity right now? If not, 100% all good. If yes, I have a 60-second video that explains how this works. I could send to you if you're open to this opportunity. I could send it to you. I got to fix that typo. But you see what we're doing here? We've opened the convo up. John responds. Amazing. Now we say this. At this point, if he responds, right, with like, yeah, sure, or whatever he says, you just got this person you haven't talked to in 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, interested or open to seeing some information. At that point, what you would do is you would come into your marketing system. You would go over to my marketing pages and go to lead capture over here, and you would grab right here your vital opportunity focused sizzle video. This page right here, and likely it's not a video of me anymore, but rather one of the leaders or whatever, there will be a page here that you can send out to John in this instance. All right. So at that point, if needed, you can ask to send the info. Likely you won't need to because you just asked, hey, is it cool if I sent you a video? Or if you're interested, can I send you a video? If he says yes, of course you don't need to ask to send it. You already asked that, or he kind of already gave a green light for that. At that point, you can send over that link to him. Now, when John clicks that open, just to bring this and make this ultra clear, of course, this would be the page right here you would send. They would watch it, and then at that point, they would say, okay, this looks interesting, and either just text you back, or if they clicked on start earning now, the page would instruct John to text me back. I'm the guy sending him the page, right? So the idea is to help you guys get conversations going quickly. That's the idea here. So anyways, the scripts, you can kind of go through the rest of the page and get a grip of really what's being said here. But once you send that, right, two things could happen. John either reaches out to you immediately, which is amazing to talk more about it because he's interested, or he doesn't respond. If he doesn't respond, you're going to want to go ahead and send a follow-up text to him. So boom, were you able to watch the video? Did it spark any interest or curiosity in wanting to find out more about the opportunity? Realize this, guys, when you send this out to someone, they might actually be busy. They could be working. They might not watch it immediately. There might be a little sales wall that goes up. The fortune is in the follow-up. You have to follow up with these people. That's why it's handy every day before you're about to send out your next 5 texts. Go follow up with the people that you reached out to the day before, the day before that, the day before that. It's incredibly important. So that's why I've given you some follow-up texts here. That will get the conversations going. So with all that being said, of course you can follow this same thought process for the product related videos and of course our scripts. And of course we've got video pages in here that pitch the products. So this one obviously talks more about that. And then we've got one for the scanner. And at the time you're shooting, you're watching this video, there might be more pages in here that are more of these sizzle video pages that you can text out to folks. All right. So with all that being said, just wanted to share that with you. This is ultra important. And one last thing I'll leave you with. This does not work unless you do it consistently. And it makes sense, right? You have to reach out to people on a consistent basis. But if you committed to doing that, you can have real success here. And your team, when you bring them on, will also do the same and follow suit. Show and don't tell, right? Lead by example with your team. And it all starts with you. Commit to 5 people a day. Get your trainer or get your team on this system. Utilize this. Push these scripts out. Send them the sizzle videos and get the conversations going. Get them on 3-way calls. Get them samples and work to build this business because it'll work if you work it. All right. So with that being said, hope you got a lot of value out of this video. Now it's time for you to take action. Let's go. Talk to you.